and this is my student showcase presentation for this year at Academic Innovation. Just to get started, a little bit of an overview of what I'll be talking about. I'll start off with a little bit about me. I'll talk about the projects that I worked on this year and talk a little bit about my learning experience, and then at the end I'm going to bring it all together and connect it to some broader disciplines outside of just technology fields. So like I said, my name is Emily. I'm an online and hybrid program fellow. I am 23 years old and from New Hampshire. You may think of me as a little bit of a black sheep here since I actually am a social worker. I received my bachelor's last spring, and this summer I'll be graduating with my master's degree in social work from the University of Michigan. A little bit about me. I like coffee. Well, I love coffee. I love Star Wars, The Office, and being outside. And so program development, developing an online program, hybrid program, what does that mean? So my time at AI was mostly split up between 3 different tasks. Research, so what does it take to successfully teach online? For me, I did a lot of reading. I found resources, really gaining knowledge on online teaching and the complexities of developing an online course. And then developing content. So how can we help faculty prepare for online teaching? So writing this content, taking what I have read and retelling it in a way that faculty can understand. And this was a challenge. We needed to respect the knowledge that faculty do have, but build upon it to help them prepare for the differences they'll face online. And then delivering this across all disciplines. So how do we create a space for faculty to access this content? Getting it out there, we wanted to create a place that met the needs of all faculty. So those whose departments are really interested in transitioning, those who just wanted to learn a little bit about what online teaching is, and then those who might be interested as individual faculty in getting their ducks in a row and then maybe presenting it to the heads of their departments. So I was really excited to be working at AI. Once that excitement faded, reality began to set in. And don't get me wrong, I know my way around a computer. I grew up in the early 2000s. But here I am, surrounded by experts using phrases like LXD and MOOC courses, and feeling like I walked into the wrong office. So here's Steve Carell explaining a little bit about how I felt in that situation, being of a social work background. So before I could really get started, I needed to learn more about this field. So as someone with experience in online education, I was really surprised to learn how U of M was really just in the development process with these courses. So I spent a good amount of time researching how faculty view distance education as a whole. And I have some fast facts here for you, just taken from the 2019 survey conducted by Inside Higher Ed. So, first off, educational costs. 82% of faculty think that educational texts and courses cost too much. Academic fraud. 6 out of 10 faculty believe that academic fraud is more common online. Tenure. More than 3/4 of faculty said that tenure is vital and important at their university. And abilities. Over 75% of faculty said that online teaching has improved their teaching skills. So with this snapshot of some of the findings that I learned, what did I do with this information and how did I use it when building this content? So some notable projects that I put most of my time into and kind of some things that I took from them. The first is online versus face-to-face. So helping faculty understand that difference, and there is a difference. So pedagogies have to change or shift, I should say. Assignments and expectations are quite different. And time management, there's a lot of time and planning that goes into developing an online course. These courses are 24/7, so there's got to be some kind of structure for professors to, allocate their time. and then becoming a facilitator. So rather than a lecturer, we like to think of the person who's running the course, the faculty running the course, as a facilitator. So every class could be synchronously delivered through a lecture, but there are a variety of ways to engage your class, including online discussions, allowing your personality to show through with teacher presence, and then, connecting a community regardless of the distance. And then the last one, competency. So this took quite a bit of digging. What do we expect from faculty when they do teach online? What are the best practices? What is the knowledge they should have? And what kind of outcomes do we want to see across disciplines? So gathering what we could find from what is out there, what other universities are doing, and then kind of developing our own baseline for the faculty here when that happens. And that is when COVID-19 hit. So this is just a little image of how I felt being in the office that week before the university closed down. So our original timelines were pushed up pretty drastically. Our team was pressed to get the most vital content up in less than 2 days onto a website that we really hadn't, fleshed out yet. And so in crunch time, we sorted through the content that we had already had, and we put those into navigable topics for both staff and students. And so our plans for online now really became now. Once I moved remotely, my tasks slowed a little bit, and I really focused on cleaning up the content that we had already created, because in the rush of transitioning U of M to online in a time of crisis, there's a lot of hands in the pot, and we needed to ensure information was moved onto the site correctly. So now, connecting to social justice, it really is all coming together. So my biggest takeaways and how I relate this to my life going forward. One, the benefits of distance education. So as a social worker, I'm committed to advocacy. Prior to the development of distance education, a very large portion of the population was denied access to higher ed. And so what this does is it allows people to connect from all walks of life for the purpose of learning. And this was a great opportunity for me to assist faculty in learning the importance of inclusive and accessible teaching. I think a lot of times we can get a little disconnected from the broader world when we're in our own discipline, and so this helps them incorporate it into their own teaching practices and make it a little bit more regular. And reminders on that ADA law. It is still true for online teaching. There's a lot of things that we don't necessarily think of right off the bat. There's a lot of disabilities that you can't see. For example, making sure that when you're presenting online that maybe it's accessible for people with color blindness, and so on. And then lastly, professional reflection is something that I'm very passionate about. In many cases, there's not opportunities for self-reflection process. Faculty might be accustomed to teaching the same material in the same way that they have been for years, which is fine, but through this new content, I was able to, help direct faculty on the benefits of lifelong learning and evaluation and how it's really needed in this online sector. Although my time physically spent at AI was cut short, I'm incredibly thankful for the chance to work with this team. I learned more than I ever really expected to, and I truly appreciate the collaborative work that we accomplished this year. And a special shout out to Evan for being an excellent supervisor. You are an inspiration to me and to all young women striving for success in their professional careers. And if you need to contact me or you have any questions, I have my email here at the bottom, Lamot at umich.edu. Thank you.